So here's the reason why the paladin is the best starter class. Hardcore. Your first hardcore character, you want to play something? Play a paladin. This is the primary item of paladins, is the obsidian bulwark. We're in elite right now, and in Bastion of Chaos, you go to this vendor, and he sells you a level 94 MI. You can reset this vendor by running all the way to the end. Like, you just, as a paladin, you're super zoomy anyway. So all you do is you run from this vendor and clear it all the way up here to the next area. We got to kind of build it down, but it can be much faster than this. So you go down. I clear all these guys, depending on what your gear level is. Once you open these things, they won't get reclosed, so you just run all the way to the end, clear all these guys. Open this guy, clear these guys, and go into this rift. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go back in and go all the way back to the vendor. Since you've cleared all these guys, you no longer have to worry about them, so you can just use your paladin zoom around. You don't have to kill the boss, because you have nothing to gain from the boss. You don't have to kill any of the other bosses, actually. You just run through here, kill these guys, and run back to the vendor. Oh, we have an open path to the vendor. That's nice. Clear the vendor, talk to this guy, and you see the vendor's reset. You can keep coming in here until you get one of the physical res prefixes on this shield. Once you get a phys res prefix on this shield, nothing else matters. You don't need. It doesn't matter what the suffix is. The hat you just have to get. The necklace you can use the bee necklace, but that's easy to farm in ultimate actually. This necklace, what you do is after you kill Krieg in ultimate, you push Forgotten Gods until you get to the vendor, and then you gamble for this. The level 60 version of this item is just as good for your first character. You don't have to use the mythical version. The mythical version doesn't really do anything else other than give more % health. That's it. I wouldn't use this. I would actually use living rings. You can farm the mace and 2 living rings from the Ancient Grove. The vendor in the Ancient Grove will sell you a level 94 weapon that has minus 12% RR and living rings. So you can just buy good living rings and good that by just resetting the vendor over and over again. And it's so much faster to reset the vendor and buy these 1, 2, 3, 4 MIs than it is anything else. You can have a low-level medal as long as you farm it okay, and have a decent low-level helmet, that's fine. You can get a 94 MI chest. You can craft level 94 pants, gloves, and boots, and all of them have phys res on them as base. All you have to do is have scrap. So if you're just farming totems and turning those things into scrap, you'll have a really amazing pants, gloves, and boots. As far as shoulders go, that comes from farming the helmet. You farm the helmet enough, you're going to get Nemesis with Kaiman's Chosen, and you kill Kaiman's Chosen's Nemesis to give you a Phys Res DA shoulder, and that also gives you % armor, and it's so badass. I actually think it's better than the set I'm using right now on this guy. I just kind of threw this character together with what I had. I would actually change the shoulders, change the weapon, just remove this set completely off this build, and then use living rings here, and then use the MI chest as well. I'd probably still use these legs, and these gloves. These legs or pants or boots are good too, as far as defensive. And I just had a really good pair of like NSR's legs. But yeah, you can get 40, 50% fizz res easy, and get all your gear by crafting this much faster than you can if you just want to farm. We'll go to Ophido later. Then if you just want to farm creep, like you can get triple rares of your shield, rings, and weapon before you farm creeks. Easy to do that. And all you gotta do is vendor farm. As long as you're not in the season. The season doesn't give you a good chance of getting go to the shower. Go downstairs. Mama's downstairs waiting for you. As long as you don't, as long as you're not in the season prevents the vendor farming trick. But outside the season, if you're playing hardcore the first time, paladin's where it's at. You have a heal, which gives you HP. The same, you get a little bit more HP than you would on a death knight. You get more flat percent HP. You don't get percent physique. That's the big downside, is you don't get percent physique. But you have Celestial Presence, and you have Aura of Censure to give you RR, which Death Knight only has one source of RR, so this does way more damage. It also uses Rune of Callister, which if you're fighting a boss and you have a chance to set up for a boss, Rune of Callister is like instant kill the boss. You set these up, then you run over here, you pull the boss, hit it a little bit, and as soon as the boss hits the Rune of Callisters, it dies. It's five blasts at once. It shotguns. It does so much damage. You're basically going to instant kill the boss. You also have you're not going to be using Stormbox on the actual build. You're going to be using Word of Pain, so you'll be clearing sections of mobs. Like when you're running, if you're farming stuff, you'll just be clearing it instantly with no problem using Word of Pain as well. And you'll use an augment on your weapon to one of your items. You're going to do a spell. I'm using Seal of Skies, but you won't have that on the first character, so you're just going to use Amber, use the Lightning Nova, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You have Oathkeeper's Zoom with Vire's Might, maxing out Tectonic Shift, and you get minus 0.5 seconds on the helmet from the helmet. Yeah. Ignifar's Combustion, really good thing because it also gives you minus RR, but you're probably just going to be playing with Vendetta, the level 35 one, which is still perfectly fine. Any Ugnabog Wasteguard, your resistances will be you'll hit all max resistances without even using augments. It'll be so easy to hit max resistances on Ultimate and Overcap because you're using so many MIs. And you're using crafted gear as well. You're using crafted that, and crafted that. So let's get out of here. And I'll show you what I mean by crafted. I was looking at this, talking about this earlier. But there's some crafted gear that you can make that's so powerful. And it's called, the Rime Guard Chassis for the pants. If it's going to load. What you want to do is you want to go to Ulgrim first. You want to make sure you have Ulgrim. It doesn't have to be an Ultimate. You can do an Elite as long as you are over that level. You go to Devil's Crossing, you go to Ulgrim. Because you want to have a chance at percent armor on this gear. If you get percent armor on your pants, you'll nearly be unkillable if you get a good thing. So you go to pants. Go to your legs. Go to your you have the Stormguard leggings and the Rime Guard chassis. The chassis I like better, but both are okay. It depends on which kind of resistance you want. But I like this one better because it has more flat armor. It costs 4 scrap and a chilled steel. 1 chilled steel. It's expensive in price, but you just craft a few of these. Now you got one of the Cabal. Not really caring about that one. Stonehide. There we go. That gives additional percent armor. Plus, I got the Ulgrim armor. And it's got 3% Fizz Res. That's not bad. This one's got 5% Fizz Res, which is nice if you're doing an acid character. But I'd use this. 10% increased armor, 3% Fizz Res. Lots of resistances on here. It gives me physique and spirit just in case I need to hit a little bit more for my stats. These are really good pants. Go to hands. What I got in my hands? You go down to the either the Plague Guard grips or the embedded grips. These are going to be better because they have higher armor naturally, but these have bleeding resistance if you don't have bleeding resistance yet. But these have cast speed, which is what you want. You don't really care about attack speed. You want cast speed. So and these cost 1 Searing Ember. So just craft a few of these. Mighty of Incantations. That's actually really good for that because it gives you skill disrupt protection. Get a few more. Aether Fire of Caged Souls. We've already got one. It's of Caged Souls, but that's okay. But it gives you % armor on this one. Just craft a few of these. There we go, another one. Blighted of Attack. That's a pretty good one for attack. OA. I'd probably end up using this Aether Fire one, even though I'm not using fire. Or I'd use this Mighty one, because the Mighty one gives you 12% physique. So you get all that physique you didn't have, or you lost on your Death Knight. So now you've got all the physique you need. That's going to give you casting speed as well. Gives you all damage. Gives you, Aether Chaos Res, Fizz Res on top of that. And then you got a feat. And feat has 2 dice. They have the Stonehide Greaves, which are probably the best ones, because they give pierce resistance. And you have the Intrepid Boots, which are also really good if you need Poison Res, as well as Freeze Res. These are good for Res, but they don't give you Fizz Res. So you'd rather have these. Just pop one or 2 of these. Ancient of Scorching. That's really good because it gives you fire damage. You don't really need fire damage on this one, but Ancient is really good, and it gives that % armor. So you have 8% extra armor. You have no % extra armor here. But you have 10% extra armor here. So on that, you're going to get 18% extra armor on your gear, which is a huge amount. Plus, if you get 10% from your shoulders, and you're getting like 3%, 6%, 10% plus like up to 5% from your shoulders, that's already giving you a lot of Fizz Res on top of all the rest of your gear. Plus your shield, which you should be getting Fizz Res on, you're going to be just invincible, basically. Super invincible at that point. And if you can get this, which you're going to gamble, when you want to gamble, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Ultimate to do it. But you go here to Corbin City Rift. You can gamble in Elite as well. There are actually less options in Elite, so you can actually get the, and it's a little bit cheaper in Elite too. So you can get the level 60 version in Elite. So you just kind of run down here to this area, to this place, run in here.
That skill's not ready.
But if you can't get this necklace, that's no problem because you can use the Inquisitor necklace that you get from killing the bees. Just run over here behind all this stuff, and there's a vendor here, or a smith. Talk to the smith. Go to this. Craft accessories. It costs you 4 Eldritch Essences. Void Heart. It costs money. That's the biggest problem, is it does cost money. But yeah, so that's one of the things you can do. You just use your Eldritch Essences and money and craft you an accessory. And you get a lot of good chances for random accessories. It can drop some of the 94 ones in Elite, even in Elite. But it's more likely to drop them in Ultimate. But yeah, you just come here, tap accessories over and over again until you get either a necklace or you run out of materials, and you just keep going. You don't really have to worry about it. It's so easy to gear on this build. And it's so much tankier, so much more damage. Just so much better in general than you're taking dog, you're taking this, you've got this. You don't need this because you've got it from Rune of Callister. Taking this to get your % RR. You do so much damage on this build. Taking this for Fizz Res, Ellie Res. You basically have 3 points that you have left over to spend however you want. Yeah. So, yeah, this build is just 100 times better than Death Knight Creed. I would 100% recommend this build way over Death Knight Creep. Anyways, thanks for watching.